All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan Zika, and I'm currently a senior graduating in the fall of 2021. I will be receiving my bachelor's in computer science with a minor in mathematics. Today, I'll be presenting an introduction to my honors capstone project. Over the winter 2021 and the fall 2021 semesters, I've been a part of the Learning A to Z multidisciplinary design project with 5 other students. And we were asked to create a new spelling game for K-5 students. So here's the agenda for today. I'll give a brief overview of what our game letter chase looked like. I'll talk about some of the next steps that Learning A to Z needs to do before it's integrated into their coding stack. I'm going to talk about the lessons I learned, and then we can talk about a summary at the end. So with that, before I introduce the project, I think it's appropriate to talk about why I joined the team. For starters, I've always had an interest in helping other students. I've been an active tutor during my time at university. Furthermore, during the fall 2020 semester, I was a chair lead for an organization that was geared towards creating basic engineering modules for middle school students. I believe that this project would give me an opportunity to use my talents as an aspiring software developer to make something that could potentially make a big difference in young students' lives. So I was really, really happy to be a part of this team. So with that, I can give an overview of our sponsor. So Learning A to Z is a company that offers an online learning platform for K-12 students. They have a wide variety of games and activities geared towards teaching new students new literacy skills. Lastly, over the past 2 years, and honestly over the past 10 years in general, blended learning has become increasingly more common in today's K-12 curriculum. And thus, Learning A to Z is at the forefront at offering new tools for teachers in order to extend their curriculum for the students online. With that being said, the 3 main stakeholders for this game are, of course, Learning A to Z. They're the ones that want to see this new game prototype, as well as we are limited to using AngularJS as our front-end framework. The students, of course, they want that fun and engaging game that they can enjoy and learn new skills. And then lastly, these teachers and caretakers want a way to potentially, assign homework assignments and monitor the students' performance as they play these games. So going into greater detail of the requirements, the letters of the word they're trying to spell should be embedded into a 2D grid of letters. Students will be able to navigate the character through the grid using their keyboard input, and they're going to be looking for the next correct letter of the word they're trying to spell. In order for the students to know what word to spell, the word should be pronounced audibly to them, and if an image exists, it should be displayed for the students to see. There should also be a timing mechanism for the game to encourage the students to spell quickly. And lastly, the user interface should comply with the Learning A to Z's brand standards that they outlined to us at the beginning of our project. And like I mentioned previously, we are limited to using AngularJS for the front-end language because overall, this project will serve as a proof of concept for that framework in their later development. So given the spec of the project, we were able to meet the requirements laid out for us. We chose a pirate-themed game because we believe they complemented the existing games in their spelling game suite, and we like the idea of a boat traversing the sea looking for the correct letters. We chose a monster moving towards a pile of gold to act as the timing mechanism. We had to find a healthy medium between encouraging the student to spell quickly and not to deter the student if they ran out of time. So we chose a friendly looking animation. In order to announce the word, we used a text-to-speech API. We also used this API to announce a definition if they chose to do so by clicking on the buttons on the screen. Additionally, if that picture of the word did exist and there was an image file path listed within the row of the database, we were able to display that image on the screen. With that being said, we had to create our own API endpoints in order to retrieve the necessary metadata for all the words in Learning A to Z's database. Lastly, we implemented a proof of concept of what some performance logging metrics could look like for the student as they go ahead and spell some of these words. So now that we have an idea of what letter chase ended up looking like, we can talk about the next steps that Learning A to Z needs to do in order to integrate this game. Um, One of these steps includes making the game more mobile friendly. Unfortunately, we ran out of time at the end of the semester, so there's still a couple bugs with our mobile design, but it's in a good state that they can take care of. Additionally, we wish you could have added a little more UI elements. One thing for certain is background music, like having some water splash in the background. We believe would made the game feel a little more live for the students. And lastly, I mentioned that we had that little proof of concept for the point system. I think a little further development could go a long way within that too, in order to really, really help the students and to help the teachers monitor the students' progress. So with that, the last thing I want to talk about today are some of the lessons I learned working on this project. For starters, managing a 2-semester long project was pretty challenging. There's a lot of monotonous labor that went into it, having weekly meetings and setting up and writing these agendas for everybody to see. Secondly, as a team, we were responsible for setting our own milestones and deadlines for certain parts of the project. And to be fair, that was one of my first experiences doing something like this. And it was hard to, motivate yourself every week, even though you knew deep down that the project still wasn't due for months away. Lastly, the MDP course itself required several design reviews and executive summaries throughout the project. As much as they were a lot of work to create and go ahead and present, I believe that they definitely helped me improve my technical communication skills and definitely have more confidence whenever I'm speaking in front of an audience, which I believe was one of the big takeaways from this project for me. In terms of the technical skills learned, it was definitely my first time with a full stack project. So it was awesome to be able to work on everything from the HTML and CSS all the way to the JavaScript, which communicated the backend PHP, and then querying the database MySQL. So it was awesome having full experience working with all those at the same time. Secondly, a thing that I believe that we take for granted is like having an accessible user interface. Especially with trying to create one for young students, it was challenging. There are a lot of things that I just wasn't thinking of during the first few iterations of the game. So it was interesting trying to look at the game from different perspectives to make sure that everyone's or most people's needs could be fulfilled with this game. So with that, we can just talk about the summary for today. So Letter Chase did end up meeting the requirements laid out by Learning A to Z. Just a little bit more development needs to be done in order for it to be fully integrated. I believe that this whole experience definitely improved a lot of my soft skills, which I really needed going into this. So I'm really happy about that. And overall, I did enjoy my time working on this project. I had a great team. And before I go any farther, I want to give a special thanks to the sponsor, Learning A to Z, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this MDP team. I want to thank my sponsor mentor, Alexandra Brown, because she met with us every single week and gave us good insight of what Learning A to Z expects from us and how to help us throughout the project. And finally, the faculty mentor, Amy, she helped us immensely, and we couldn't have been there without her. And my teammates, of course, they were great. They made the whole experience enjoyable for me. And yeah, so with that, that is all I have prepared for today. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.